everybody. So I want to do a quick video. I know you guys, if you haven't watched, I asked for help finding clips for my truck. I also have an issue with my Mazda. Would love some car people to help me out on this one. So, like I said, if you haven't watched the truck one about the clips, I have two 12s in the back of this Mazda, and yes, it gives off bass. It really does, but it does not give off like what the truck does. Well, recently, as of like a few weeks ago, my center mirror here, the rear view mirror, there we go, rattles, like terribly rattles, with just barely any bass. I mean, I can have my radio down really low and it rattles. So I thought it was the housing casing. It's not. Like, I can hold the whole mirror, it will still sit there and rattle. I don't know if it's something on the inside of the mirror or what could potentially fix it. I mean, I've done everything where I was holding it. I've tried like hubby holding it, and we're trying to hold it, and it has to be something on the inside. I've tried hitting the little, I'm gonna call it the little flipper. So aka if someone has their high beams on, you do that, it'll pop your mirror in a different position, but you can still see their lights because how it reflects. I tried doing that thinking, hey, maybe it's something in that position. No, it still does it. So I don't know if it's something on the inside of the mirror, if it's something I have to replace the whole rear view mirror for, and I hope not, because so this Mazda has, it's the stupidest setup, but it has in-city brake system guidance. I don't know what you call it. What I was told, it only works under 5 miles an hour. And here's another thing, is I've tried it. I'm in a stick shift, okay? A manual. Coming up on a car, I was still in first gear, and I was like, okay, I looked down at my speedometer, I was under the 5 dash. I came within inches and I had to hit the brakes. It never did anything. So I attempted again with it in neutral. Still didn't do a thing. And when I asked Mazda about it, they're like, oh, it's in city under 5 miles an hour. It doesn't work. It's absolutely useless. But that's why they don't make this version anymore. That's why when I've had to get my window replaced, the poor car place that I went to replace my windshield couldn't calibrate the unit because they're like, we've never heard an in the city one. And I'm like, yeah, because it's made for under 5 miles an hour. It's the stupidest thing. It's the stupidest setup. Sorry, I'm watching these two cars kind of racing traffic, both pewing out stuff. Ugh. Got a Cadillac and a man. Okay, hold on. I gotta show you guys this. I gotta get up here just a little bit. I'm not even at the speed limit. I didn't realize that. Is it not me, or is this car in front of me like crooked? Like his butt sits more to his passenger side than his front side. That is funny. Okay, that Cadillac that just got over, the guy in front of me in the Cadillac were sitting there, yeah. Okay, besides the point, back to me. So, yeah, the whole setup of the city assistant guidance, whatever it's called, stupid. Mazda only did it for, I think it was like a year or two, and then they haven't done it again. Now they do the other one that everybody pretty much does, which I forget what it's called. It's something guidance wording or whatever, but it'll help try to brake you in time so it prevents a collision. But my rear view mirror is pretty much attached to that unit by the look of it. I mean, it goes up into a hole, but I can't see the glass because there's the whole unit attached. So I don't know, and I don't want to go to Mazda to try to get it replaced because I know they're going to charge me an arm and a leg to replace something that's like rear view mirror. What, 50, $100, give or take? I had to replace one way prior to in a different car, so inflation, it might be a lot more than that thinking of it, but besides that. Also, another thing, so, and I've done a lot of research on it because I've been dealing with it for, I want to say at least 3 years now. 3, maybe even close to 4 years. I've owned this car for almost 7. I know most of the time, now they're back to back. Sorry, the two cars. But, so it was a known issue with older Mazdas because their little dash they had was a touch screen. So you could touch it to go play through your music or skip a song or whatever. Well, they've gotten rid of that. So I'm in a 2017 and a half Mazda. They got rid of that feature once it came out to mine. So which I'm fine with. Cool. Awesome. Tell me why there are days, and this is why I don't drive this car very often because it's annoying. I'll be driving and all of a sudden it'll start so I listen to Pandora. So it will go over and thumbs down or it'll start skipping songs and it's acting like it's so my control knobs are down this region in my center console. It'll act like it's being turned and going on to something. I'm like, dude, I didn't do anything. I have to keep sitting there hitting. There's a button that has musical note on it. I'll be sitting there hitting it, and it will do it about 5 to 7 times, and then it'll stop. And then about a minute or two later, it'll do it again, and then it'll stop. And then sometimes it'll do it again about 5-10 minutes later. It'll do it again, and I have to do it again, and then it stops, and it doesn't do it ever again. And there could be times I'll get in the car, it won't do it. If you guys watched me go to Ontario, it didn't do it once from after getting gas at the gas station. It didn't do it at all. But going to the gas station, it did like 4 different times, which the gas station from my place is like 5-10 minutes, if that. So I'm trying to figure out, is it electrical? I asked Mazda about it, and they're like, oh, we would have to charge you at per hour exploratory to find out what it is. Okay, this car's still under warranty. While I was there, I asked, because I had to get an oil change, how long's my warranty? Yay, 10 years. So I got 3 more years going through the lovely company I bought this car through, which I'm about done with it because their motive is every 6 months you have to get an oil change. I don't drive this car very often. They started bugging me at 6 months after my last one. I finally had to go in there and said, I'm not going to allow you to do an oil change when I haven't even put a tank of gas in the car. And they were like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, oh. I don't drive this car, okay? It's my long distance car. It gets better gas mileage on long distance. AKA, I'm going a long distance from home right now. I'm actually going to dye my sister's hair, so stay tuned to that. But yeah, so I don't know if anybody else knows of this issue with this whole center console doing this. Mazda, where I took this baby, we're like, oh, well, we've heard of it in older models. Well, it's most likely your touch screen. Okay, here's my pet peeve. If you are in the car industry or you work for a dealership, especially in the service department, you need to understand what cars have what features. They stopped doing touch screens before my model. And I specifically stated to the gentleman that I was talking to, it does not have a touch screen. They completely disabled those. When it came to my model, that is not even a allowed feature. And when I looked it up, they didn't allow it on 2017 models. And the guy was like, oh no, I'm pretty sure it is. And I'm like, the guy didn't even know Mazdas. And he's like, well, I've been working for Mazda for like 10 years, blah, blah, blah. I know what I'm talking about. Cool for you. I've owned Mazdas. That Mazda was my first car I ever owned. I owned another Mazda at one point, which had a blown transmission from day one of buying it with only about, I think it was 4 miles on the car. Yeah, that took 18 months to get settled, but that is different. And then I've had this. I had a lovely Nissan. I missed that Nissan, but got in a car accident. I'm just trying to figure out, why can't Mazda figure out why there's electrical issue? I know there's electrical issue because it will literally, and it has not done it today, and I've been in the car for 30 minutes at least. Not once. Actually more than that. About 45 minutes. Went and got a car wash. She needed it. Had to get gas. Now I'm sitting in traffic trying to drive to Washington. Stick shift traffic sucks. But why won't Mazda look into it? They can look to see I've never touched the center console. Yes, I have a sound system. I have two 12s in the back. But here's the catch-22 to that. None of the electrical was touched. It is wired into the battery. I have a knob under my dash, and it goes to the back. And there's one little wire that goes to the radio. Now, here's the thing. I started mentioning this to Mazda, and they have proof of it way before I got that sound system. I've only had the sound system about maybe 2.5 years. I haven't had it as long as I have for the whole issue that's been going on. It's just been progressively getting worse, where it's almost every time I get in the car, it does it. While we're in Ontario, I can't count how many times it would sit there and change the song or click on something or do something. And I'm like, it's irritating to me because I'm like, why can't they figure it out? And I'm not going to pay them no $180 per hour to sit there and plug in a computer and go, well, we don't see anything. Because that's what they did with my last Mazda. Because they wouldn't go take it for a test drive. Yeah, gotta love that. And corporate But once the guys were able to recreate it, and corporate was like, no, there's nothing wrong. It's a new car. Yeah. Welcome to Oregon tunnels. You're going to hear people honking. But, yeah. So, if you guys could help me out, I would really appreciate it, because it's going to suck next summer when I'm driving to Ontario with a rattle in that and having to deal with that even more. I don't know what's causing it. I don't know. It's frustrating. Because especially when I'm accused of, oh, well, I mean, you could be doing something. Okay, are you saying because I'm fat? Because I'm fluffy? Because I'm plus size? That I'm hitting it? No, my hand is always behind, like, between my leg and the center console, or it's on the stick shift. But I don't drive this car enough for it to cause that issue. And I'm sorry, if this car can't take a fluffy person, which yes, I am fluffy, but I'm not the 400, 500, 600 pound range. I am under those. Then the car shouldn't be sold. Like, the seat is already uncomfortable, but if me being fluffy is causing the issue for the wiring issue, then Mazda, you have a problem. No, it's the location has a problem because they don't want to do their job. But yeah, if y'all car peoples can help me out, sorry for getting a little of my frustration out, but I'd appreciate it. I really would. But again, rattle in the mirror. Don't know what's causing it. Center console doing whatever it wants once in a while. So, thank you, everybody. Remember, hit that like and subscribe. Hopefully you won't get more videos of me going, can you help me find, hopefully not for my car or my truck. But yeah, might have help me find this item. That's a totally different thing. But thanks everybody for watching. You have an amazing day. Bye.